Welcome to Raj Shamani Clips. Here we are understanding the top leaders and best minds of today to help you become the better leader tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this.
You met PM Modi, right? How was meeting PM Modi for you?
Yeah, I met him a couple of times, and I think each
Couple of times. Now, tell me, each time what?
each time was quite a great experience, because I think I'm completely not affiliated to any political party,
of course,
or in any way, directly or indirectly. But I saw in this man a kind of passion, a kind of the aura and the energy that he exudes. He is one of a man on a mission. Never resting. Constantly active. I remember one of the meetings that was there went on for 3 long hours, and while a lot of us who are probably half his age kind of zoned out, this man was constantly on, and he had already, at the end of a long day, he had 3, 4, 5 engagements already, and post this meeting there was 2, 3 more for the rest of the night, and despite that, someone who was active mentally, physically of course, but mentally also, and at that age to be able to do that speaks of a lot about the man's commitment for the country and the cause that he believes he's working for. And the other inspirational thing that I see is the amount of hatred that is hurled at him, but for anyone else, and as a historian, I get probably one small fraction of the amount of hatred he receives, and it rattles me. It sometimes, now I've started slowly growing a thicker hide, but there's so much of hatred, allegations, all kinds of things, because anyone who speaks the truth is a heretic. So so it upsets the existing apple cart, and so that is a problem. But I always wondered, what does this man do to actually not be affected? It's not easy when people are constantly hurling negativity at you to actually keep your energy field clean enough out of all of that. I think it needs some amount of, without spiritual sadhana and so on, you can't do that.
Who do you think can make a great PM apart from who do you think is a good candidate for PM?
Oh my God.
I'm just asking for my personal curiosity.
I think maybe Yogi Adityanath would be quite an interesting person to see there. Of course, it's going to create ripples across the world that, a saffron-clad monk standing at the UN General Assembly and talking will be quite a sight to behold. But yeah, if that's what destiny has to offer him, so be it. Let's see how that goes. Because he's turned around UP in such a big way
exactly.
in the last 5 years, and to control that state is no mean task. The kind of law and order situation where the mafia would run amok, and people's lives, whether it was women or men or whoever, the kind of things that we saw earlier is not what it is, and infrastructure development and all of that is there. I think he's doing pretty well. If someone can control that kind of mess, would be much better to control a larger country like India, which is so chaotic.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a combination of both development. We look at only development, but also who can hold
the country together.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe he's probably
also I love what he recently did and trying to at least do that. He's trying to look at states' development and process the way corporates look at their businesses.
Yeah.
Right? He's getting PwC or Deloitte to think out strategies and stuff. That is unheard of. Never heard of this, that state is now getting consulted by the big force of the world.
So I think that's sort of healthy, like between corporates, competitors, trying to see my state is better than yours. I think some of that is coming up now in even social indices, like the Swachh Bharat mission and the survey that goes. All the cities are ranked, right?
Yeah.
So for the longest time, I think Indore tops the list. So I've been to Indore just a couple of weeks back, among many other trips to the city. I see that sense of pride even among the common people, that हमारा शहर जो है सबसे Swachh शहर है. And people also participate in this movement. It can't be a top-down approach of government doing everything. It has to be bottoms-up, where people also are not throwing kachra on the street. They're not littering. So though they have all their Sarafa Bazaar and those street food things, you see an element of cleanliness which the people have also, come up, and they want to maintain this. We want to be the number one city in this index. So I think those that competitiveness in a nice way, just like how the corporates do, is what would lead to profitability for the corporates and good governance in the case of states and cities.
Just a fun fact, if you didn't know, I'm from Indore.
Oh, so that's why you fed. I didn't know that, so it was not to massage your ego at all.
No, I'm from Indore. I moved to Bombay 2 years ago, and I've been part of this movement of Swachh Bharat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And everybody in Indore feels so proud.
Yes.
And I've seen that change in front of me, because as when you're a kid, you are telling your family, your relatives, your friends and their families कि अच्छा नहीं कचरा मत फेंको, आप उठा लो. And we used to be, my group, my friends, my sisters, we used to be one of those, if somebody throws litter on the road, we would just pick up and put it, right? And we would hold it, and we would teach our parents that if हमने toffee खाई है, we would hold that wrapper till we reach our house and then put it in dustbin, right? So we would do that. As kids, I think everybody does that.
Yeah.
But then slowly the whole city started doing this. And I saw this change. I saw that people were not throwing litter anywhere in the city, and they were picking up other people's litter.
And Mysore is another city, I think second or third in the ranking, and I see that even there, the amount of pride, and there's always, why is Indore taking the lead? We should do better. And I think that is where people who, politically simply oppose Mr. Modi and his policies, and which is legitimate right of in a democracy, people have to oppose, someone has to be in government, but they don't understand that a lot of things that he has done have thus become people's movements. It was not as if he designed keep India clean. Even under the previous regimes, there were this movements of open defecation free ODF schemes, building public toilets and all that. But the reach and to actually involve people, as I said, this can't be just some babu sitting somewhere and passing some paper here and there. Unless people, Jan Bhagidari, if it doesn't happen, I don't think these schemes can work. So one of the biggest reasons why he's so successful even electorally is he's taken a lot of people into several of his movements, and the Labharti, as they say, it's become a community of their own. I mean, all those different schemes they run to give gas cylinders and toilets, especially for women and so on in rural areas, water to every home. So these type of things are something that touch people's lives, and then the support base obviously grows. So how does someone counter that? You can't say these things are not true, because the numbers are there, the people's lived experiences are there. As you said, from Indore 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it was not the case, right? This was not the feeling in the people of Indore.
Recent.
Yeah. So who is driving that? What is the scheme that is driving that? So someone just goes and disparages a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. An Indore wala will never vote for that person, right? I'm saying, who are you to tell me this? I mean, we are seeing the change on the ground, and you don't even know the reality, and you are disparaging it. So I think that becomes a problem, where I think very nicely they have combined all kinds of things, social engineering along with some of the development schemes and all of that, which is what is helping them grow electorally, election after election.
Interesting, very interesting. But now
we go back to history.
We go back to history, but no, more than history. I was just saying that now their area of winning regions is not decreasing. So it was up till last electoral season, there were only 21% of India was not controlled, or was not under BJP.
Yeah.
Now there's 37% of India which is not under BJP.
Which is good. Which is very good, I think, because for two reasons. One is, I think it punctures that horrible and very perverse campaign that was going on nationally and internationally, that democracy is dead in India, that everything is rigged and so on. So if democracy was indeed dead, as even people like that nefarious, Soros and others who went around parroting everywhere, the ruling party would not give up important states like Karnataka or Himachal or whatever. So the very fact that the ballot has the capability of overthrowing governments, even of the dominant political party, shows that we are a thriving democracy. So people who are doing this kind of campaign, I think it should shut their mouths forever. That you can't disparage our hard-fought freedom and democracy for your petty political gains. The second good thing is that it keeps this ruling party also under check, on their toes all the time. Because otherwise a degree of complacency develops and you take people for granted too. So we need, as I said, that's a good thing that, we need a combination. We need a healthy and a good opposition who can challenge the government and also overthrow governments. I'm from Karnataka and I know that there was popular discontent against the government there, the incumbent BJP government, and we saw the results the way it did a couple of weeks ago, which is a wake-up call for all these parties, because they all just think that 5 years you don't do much work and then just encash the popularity of Mr. Modi or just have his road shows and this and that, and then you can overturn misgovernance or public discontent of several years. I think that is living in a fool's paradise and taking people's intelligence for granted. I think Indian people, whether they are literate, illiterate, are a very intelligent class. Ye public hai, sab janti hai. So they know everything and they know whom to reward, how much and when.